Hi, I'm Nicola. Welcome to this week's Mega Football TV.
The big game this week could be an absolute cracker, and it could prove to be an early six-pointer. That's when Arsenal host Liverpool at the Emirates. Aston Villa travelled to East London to take on Gianfranco Zola's West Ham. And two teams desperate for points, West Brom v Man City. Well, we start with paying a massive credit to the winner of Week 7, Benjuin. Not only did Ben win by the biggest margin we've ever had here on Pick'em, but he also proved it pays to be brave with your Pick'ems. Ben got 8 out of 14 predictions correct, but what really opened up that massive 1,200 point gap between himself and second place D-Mob was the impressive call that both Chelsea and Man United would draw. We suggested in last week's show that an away draw might be on the cards for United, and we also took a look at Chelsea's poor home record. But Ben was the only player that picked anything other than a Chelsea win. In fact, that paid off nicely and got him first place and a nice early Christmas present of £500. Also, a quick congratulations are due to D-Mob and one of our previous winners, Natalie, on fine performances in Week 7. Remember, there are 2 Premier League tickets up for grabs for the winners of December's monthly league table, so do keep watching if you think you've done well over Christmas and see you might be in a shout with getting those tickets. So the big juicy game we're all looking forward to is Arsenal v Liverpool. Arsenal's hot and cold gunners take on Rafa's occasionally goal-shy table toppers. The first pick we're asking you to make a call on is the match winner, and this is a bit of a tough one. Well, this is Arsenal's sequence of results over the last 12 league games and really tells a tale of their season. On no occasion have they managed to win more than 2 consecutive games, dropping 15 points in the process. Their sequences have been broken by the likes of Fulham, Hull, Stoke and Borough. But it's not all bad for the Gunners. They have beaten Chelsea and Man United this season, giving them the best record against the so-called Big Four this season. So they might just fancy themselves against Liverpool, who are sometimes struggling to get those goals. The highest scoring team this season has been Chelsea by some distance. They have an average of 2.1 goals per game, whilst the gaps may not look that big, because an average gap between 1st and 6th in this table is already worth 10 goals this season. And apart from their occasional struggle for goals, Liverpool are much improved this season. In fact, they're already up 8 points compared to their tally of points at the same stage last season, and they're second in both the home and away league tables. With only 1 loss for Liverpool this season, their form is a lot better than Arsenal, but they have home advantage and they do have the big game mentality required to take all 3 points. So who do I think is going to win this one? As we said, it is a very tough one to predict. It all depends on which Arsenal team and which Liverpool team bother showing up. But I am going to go for an Arsenal win. They're at home. Had Torres been fit, and that's not going to be till after Christmas, I might have been swaying to go for a Liverpool win. But at the moment, I'm going to have to say Arsenal. We're also asking you the minute of the first goal. Typically in the Premier League, this ends up happening somewhere between the 20 and 30 minute mark. If you think this is going to be a tight game, you might want to consider that only 9 of Liverpool's 26 goals this season have come in the first half. That's compared to 11 of Arsenal's 29. So if you think it's going to be a low scoring affair, you might want to go for a goal in the latter half of the first half, or maybe the second. I think this is going to be a low scoring affair with just the 1 goal involved, and I think that's going to come in the 58th minute. West Ham v Villa next. West Ham did manage to get an impressive point at Stamford Bridge last weekend, but they have the 5th worst home record in the league. In fact, they haven't won at home for 3 months. Villa, on the other hand, have the 5th best away league records, having beaten the likes of Everton, Spurs and Arsenal, so they've enjoyed their trips to London so far this season. They also come into this one 2 wins on the trot, and Ashley Young in fantastic form. Well, I can't see anything other than a Villa win on this one. We just mentioned Ashley Young. There's also Gabby Agbonlahor. So they've got a great attack there. They're also solid at the back. And Brad Friedel's in fantastic form. So for me, it's got to be a Villa win. Finally, West Brom v Man City. Can Robinho and Delano and co fire themselves up to avoid disaster at the Hawthorns and stop their club from becoming the richest one in the relegation zone? Some painful reading then coming up for you Man City fans. They're the 4th worst away league record. They've also only managed to win 1 game in their last 8, conceding 2 goals per game during the process. But a win for City could see them climb 7 places up to 10th in what is a very tight table at the moment. Anything than 3 points would be a disaster for Hughes, and he'd see them slip into the relegation zone. It's even worse for West Brom. They're rooted to the bottom of that table. Just 2 points from their last 10. So who are you going to back? It is a difficult one, but I'm going to go for an away win. Man City for me. I'm going to expect a bit of Brazilian flair. Mark Hughes will be desperate to get those points. So Man City for me. We're also asking you this week how many goals you think will be in total in this pick'em. There are the 8 games only that we're featuring, so you might want to have a look at which teams are featured before you make your mind up. In the Premier League so far this season, there's been an average of 2.6 goals per game, so you might want to go somewhere in between the region of 19 and 22. I'm going to go for 19.